the key word here. An angle is an angle, a circle is a circle, segment is fixed on either end. Plane though, and we draw a plane as kind of a sheet of paper, but it actually extends infinitely in all directions. And it has no depth. So other than just giving you the definition that that is
Got it.
going to be your thing here. All right. So one of the disadvantages, oh boy. So it only grabbed the first page, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I think I did
I'd say.
another.
So let's do this. Why don't we can do the back and forth thing, which is where, or you can maybe take screenshots and drop those in the chat. But for like
Yeah,
number 2, for example, I don't have all the answers. So my concern is I would not be giving you the right result
yeah,
or thing to think about.
let me just take a screenshot of that. Let me put that in the chat.
For number 2, though, maybe you can just tell me what the last answer is, because that appears to be the correct one. Is it AB with a line over it?
So
Something like that.
I put it in the, yeah, there.
Oh, you got it in the chat there? Okay. Save. All right. Okay. So yeah, all right. This is fine. Let me grab the correct question then. And you're welcome to drop as many of those as you want in the chat here. So let me copy though. If you want to get a little bit ahead. Okay. So the thing with lines is that they're generally labeled with 2 points. So like AB is a line, but you can also use a single letter, although it's less common to do it that way. But you cannot use a single point. Okay. So you can't use like point A to represent the line, big A, and you can't use like big C. So that means that this is out. This symbol right here means perpendicular. This symbol right here means parallel. So the only possible answer is the first one. The reason it's okay is you can use a single letter as long as it's not a point. Like it's a descriptor for the line itself.
Got it.
All right. So unfortunately, we kind of have to do this every time. You're gonna have to drop a picture
Yeah, I
in.
already took this. Yeah, here I have the screenshot of number
You can
3 as well. Yeah, this should be it.
All right, there it is. On my side, I have to download and then it'll open. And I have to copy it in. A lot of mouse click. All right. Which undefined terms are needed to define a line segment? Okay, so a segment, this is the key difference in this course. This is a line. A line goes on forever. A line segment, and that's what most people mean when they say a line. They actually mean a line segment. It's fixed on both ends.
Got it. So it has two endpoints.
It has 2 endpoints. Now the problem I'm seeing here is like, well, which one is it? Well, if it's a line with an endpoint, what does that mean? We really want which undefined terms are needed to define a line segment. Okay, so this is one of those where I'm going to go out to the internet and just see, because the answer, what we really want is endpoint. That is a line segment. Yeah, but because it's multiple choice, it's like, well, what do they want? And it's like, I don't know. So let's go figure out what they want here. Anything from the notes or videos stand out here to you?
Not really. Maybe they're looking for like line and endpoint because it's line with like 2 endpoint. One that makes less sense because point and line definitely doesn't make sense, but it just sounds like a point, not an endpoint. Same with the other ones. I think line and endpoint.
Mhm. I am struggling to know what to tell you to do. Um, unfortunately, it's not a lack of understanding, it's a lack of knowing what they want. Um, Plain line and point. My concern is that the line endpoint could refer to array, meaning it extends infinitely.
Oh, right. We only defined one endpoint.
A point and a line, though, is just that.
And
A
then a segment,
segment, I guess a segment, I guess if you had to, I mean, I guess I would go with that. Do you remember? I mean, that's where I was asking if you
because I think the
remember.
first time I put line and endpoint.
So we don't want you to repeat the same one again. So um, I guess
Yeah,
that would be my best guess, although I don't like any
okay.
of these, but
All right. So for number 4, you got a screenshot real quick. Listen to the chat.
all right, there it is. All right. Is the image an example of an angle? So one of the issues is that the angle typically go on forever, but it doesn't say that. That's okay. Um, so is this an angle? It sure looks like it. Um, so yes, AB and BC do not form a line and share an endpoint. So typically an angle is they share an endpoint and it's a ray shooting off in two different directions. Typically, but it can also be fixed line segments. So I'm going to say these are out, and then they don't have to be perpendicular. This is not required. They just have to share an endpoint. That's kind of the key thing there.
Yeah, I think that might have been one of the ones that I got correct. That's what I think I put last time too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyways, for number 5,
You're welcome to skip ones if you think you've got the answer or um,
number 5. Right, let me take a screenshot of that into the chat.
all right, there it is. Right. So James defines an angle as a figure consisting of two rays. The statement is not precise enough because you should specify that. So the problem is like this is a ray and this is a ray. Okay, those are both rays. But to make an angle, they must have a
Common or
common
shared
endpoint.
endpoint.
Common or shared endpoint. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of geometry does have logic in it where there's Like sometimes true, always true, never true. It's just not sufficient.
Numbers.
Okay, there it is.
Wait, actually, as you're putting it in there, number 6, I would think it'd be 2.
Let me get it up here. All right, Aaron draws a segment in his notebook. What is the minimum number of points through which the segment is drawn? So the what I always tell students is actually if you have 1 point, you can draw an infinite number of lines or line segments through that point. But if you have 2 points, there is only 1 line segment or line that can be drawn through that.
God, that's why I thought 'cause there's 2 endpoints. That'd be the minimum number of points that a line segment would need to be a line segment. All right. Also, what does an undefined term mean in geometry?
Yeah, so an undefined term is, I don't want to say, so like let's talk about what undefined. A line is undefined, and the reason is it can go on infinitely in any direction. It goes on forever and ever. All right, and then a plane is also undefined because it extends infinitely.
Got it.
All right, now there's also point is also undefined. And I think the issue with the point is I always think of it as a place in space, but there's no way to sort of know where it is because there's nothing fixed about it.
Got it.
All right, so there's the next one here. So really this is asking what is the definition of a plane? A plane is defined by 3 non-collinear points. So that's enough to get a plane, 3 points. It's the one we've been talking about. It extends in all directions. I believe that's what it's looking for there.
Got it. All right. Let me put the next one, the chat number 8. Right, number 8 is in the chat.
This is kind of more what I expected the other day when we were doing a lesson. These are your more of your introductory questions. If 2 points are given, then exactly 1 line can be drawn through these 2 points. Which geometry statement does this represent? That's I do.
So there are like, what's a postulate?
Well, I truthfully I don't think in terms of these ideas anymore. But the book is right, or this is right, that so it, the first one is a definition. A theorem is something that you prove. You have to prove this. Postulate is accepted without proof.
So it would be a postulate for this one because it's not really, it's just
Oh.
saying that two can be.
2 points are given, exactly one line can be drawn. I mean, we're not proving it, we're accepting that it's true.
Yeah,
Um, that sounds reasonable to me, although it's an odd question. It would be better to be like if the textbook or some of your resources gave you definitions and said this is a definition, this is a postulate. That's how it would be best to answer this, is to go in and look for those things.
got it. All right. Uh, Pretty sure I got the answer to this one, so I double check. But for number 9, and then for number 10, so number 9, I'm gonna put in first. Right there, you got number 9 is in the chat.
Okay, got it. Copy.
All right,
All right, which of the following is not a characteristic of a line? So always good to kind of draw a line, has arrows on the end. It ends infinitely. Now that means when it says not, that means 3 of the 4 are characteristics of the line. Okay,
yeah,
so a line is an undefined term, that's for sure. All right.
I thought it was 2 endpoints as like the not characteristic of a
Yeah,
line
that
because that'd be a line
yeah,
segment.
exactly. Exactly. So to me, that's the answer. To me, a line is a series of points. I know it has no depth or width. Um, let me and do you think you got this wrong, or you don't know?
I don't know because they didn't. It doesn't like tell us what or
It
I
just
don't
gives you a
think I don't,
score.
yeah, I don't think they told us the other one's correct or not, but I would think it'd be 2 endpoints.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the key difference between a
A
line
line
and a
and
line segment
yeah,
is, let me check here. I got a resource here that can help here. I don't think this is right. Okay. Hmm. Well, I'll leave it to you to decide, but I guess I would go with this one here if that was the case.
all right.
What you might do for next time is write down the answers or screenshot before you submit, or print to PDF. Any of those things would be potentially useful for us.
Got it. Then I have number 10 in the chat, but yeah, so
Okay.
which term best describes this geometric figure? And then yeah, I would think that'd be a line segment because that's 2 endpoints then.
Yeah, I would say it's a segment.
Yeah, all right. That is the last question on there.
All right. Do you have another one that you can open up for us to look at?
Yeah, let me just quickly.
Fantastic.
So give me some of this. All right, this time we got 80%, right?
Okay, so there's still some issues.
Yeah, I think
Um,
not too many of them, maybe like I think just two of them that are incorrect, and then the
does it
rest
give
are
you does it show
yeah,
you which ones
yeah,
are
it
wrong?
shows which one. It says number 3 and number 7.
Okay.
For number 3, it says the correct answer is point and line.
Because that was the one we were very, yeah, these are probably like definitions from somewhere in your course. Somewhere in your course, it says exactly that. And then for number 7, my guess is it's very similar. Um,
Yeah, it says the correct answer is described generally, not using a formal definition.
so I think if you went and looked back at your material, you would find some of this in there. And you can use like Control F, the search. You can use the search features in your browser. You want to find a way to sort of search through this stuff, be able to answer them.
Got it. All right, so there's nothing else wrong in that. All right, so let me go back. There's another one. So the next one is on basic constructions. So this one I haven't done yet. All right, I've done it, but I haven't like submitted it because there's an option to save and exit instead of submitting it.
Oh, good.
So I've gone through most of them. I was just confused on the couple ones that are about bisecting. I was kind of confused on those, but on the other ones I was kind of able to do it. But
Sure. Do you want to send over one that you're unsure about and we can look at?
yeah, here let me zoom. Start from number 4. Screenshot of this. Put it in the chat.
There we go. So I've got it up now on the screen. Bill is bisecting an angle with technology. Which of the following describes his next step? So I think one of the things that maybe is unclear is he trying to bisect this angle, and really he only needed that arc right there. All right. So now the next thing is to mark. So typically you mark both of these. So mark E where the segment that intersects with segment BC. So some of these, I guess we could just say are totally off. But the steps would be to go to E and D and to swing some arcs from there. But yeah, I guess that's probably the only way I can sort of just to draw a line from point B through point C. No, some of these are wrong. Like some of them, I guess if you were to draw, you would say, oh, that's not going to be it. Create another circle with the center D that has a radius AD. So that's drawing another circle up here. That's probably not right. I don't know. I guess, are you seeing videos of how to do constructions?
I saw one video about bisecting and constructions.
Okay.
Um, although
So
it was still a little bit confusing.
what you would want to do is like try to do what they're doing, pausing the video and paying attention to the sequence of steps. Because the next step here is you do need that pointy because you're going to end up swinging an arc and another arc, and you're going to get some points here that allow you to create the bisector. through them.
Got it.
All right, so you're gonna drop another one in the chat.
Yeah,
Well, let's see about.
this is another one, number 6. Put that in the chat.
All right, let's take a look here. All right, so a lot of words on this one. Jessica is bisecting a segment. All right, so here's the segment, we'll just say, and she wants to bisect. So first she places the compass at one endpoint and opens it to a width larger than 1/2 the segment. So she's gonna create something like this. All right, and then
Mhm.
to bisect it, she has to go to the other side and swing the same thing. And that is what bisects it. So which of these says that to go to the other, like if you start at A to then go to B?
Maybe swinging an arc on the other side of the segment.
Yeah, yeah. You're not drawing a ray, you're not doing that. So there's a few of these that are maybe totally off. You do create a point that is not on the segment and when you're making something parallel.
Alright, I'm putting the next one in the chat right now.
Right, there it is. I wish it doesn't notify me when they're delivered. It's one of the disadvantages of this. Okay. Number 7. Here we go. Angle ABC. Oops, I made that too large here. All right, so angle ABC. So I'll just go, okay, there's A, B, and C. And you might wonder, well, how do you know what to draw? It's like I don't. I'm just gonna take an attempt here. Has point E on ray BA. So these are actually rays. And point D, we don't know where D is, but it says the E. Wait, ABC is point E on ray BA and point D on ray BC, and they're equidistant from B. Okay, so you kind of have to read it all. There's an E, and then there's a D, and these are the same distance. Is that okay? This is drawing clear. Angle ABC is point E on
Yeah,
ray BA and point D on ray BC. And I don't know, they could be further. We don't really know. I'm just presuming they're there. To copy an angle ABC, to copy the angle, which of the following needs to be identified for the construction? Okay. So let me just talk about how to actually copy an angle, because I don't actually think this picture is all that helpful at the moment. I'll just remind you. So let's just say you wanted to copy this angle. You would actually just start by drawing a line over here on the right. And then this point right here, you just say that's that point right there. And then you would swing an arc like that. and you would swing the same arc like that. And I've not done a good job of drawing that, so let me try that one more time. So this point here that I've just made is the same as this point here. And then you
Got
go
it.
up and you go up here and you swing an arc like that, and you swing an arc like that, and now you've got the other point for it. So now the angles are copied, even though maybe they don't look that way. So sometimes you got to do it by process elimination. You don't need the distance between points E and D. You don't need that. The point in the angle that is equidistant from point E and D, you also don't need that.
So would it be the endpoints of rays?
It sure looks like it, because that's what we were
Yeah,
using to
because it
copy
isn't
it.
the point outside of the angle that is
Yeah.
equidistant to point E and D. So okay, so here let me put the next one. The chat. All right, it's sent in the chat.
Yes. All right. What is the correct order of steps for bisecting an angle? ABC.
Nice.
Okay. So here I'm going to draw ABC. A, B, C. All right. So sometimes you can, well, I'll just point this out. Like it's either E is first or F is first. So we could go look at that. Place the compass on point B and swing an arc that intersects rays BO and BC. Or should we place the compass on point D, which we don't have? So I think you can see pretty clearly that E is first.
Yep.
Okay, now we look for what's different between them. So you can't like
So
try to do the whole
C
thing. C versus
just
D.
yeah. So C's place point F on the intersection. Arcs created point E and E.
All right, C says place point B on the intersection of the arc on ray BA. Okay, so so here the mistake I made is you don't have to go to A and C, although typically you do. But
Got
so
it.
place point D on the intersection of arc ray
So right where
BA
the intersects, yeah, that would be
and point E, or place F on the intersection of the arcs created from D to E. So again, it's got to be C,
yeah, that's what
because
I thought.
so that's the only reasonable one. And now you've got your answer here.
Wouldn't it be the first
Sorry,
one?
the other one. Yes, yes. You got to be able to write it the correct one down after you do it right.
Yeah. All right. The next one. Chat. Right. The next one's in the chat.
Okay, take a look here. All right. Does the construction demonstrate how to bisect a segment correctly by hand? So I think we looked at this earlier. The way to do this is you pick one of the endpoints and you go a little further than halfway, and you swing They're cutting it out, but they're swinging arc. Then you go to the other endpoint and you use the same thing and you swing an arc and you get 2 points here. And then you connect them with a ruler. So, yes, it does. And so you're not allowed to use a straight edge to create the segment. Like you're allowed to, it kind of reads awkwardly because you do use a straight edge. What they're saying is like, you can't just measure it.
Oh, you
But
can't just
this,
measure the length and then
exactly, yeah, you can't cut it in
yeah,
half, but it's kind of implied that yeah, you do need a ruler to connect these two other points, C and D. Like you don't just freehand that. You're supposed to,
yeah, like just so it looks like so it's straight, but
yeah,
not for like measuring the length and cutting it in half, like cutting the length
exactly,
in
yeah.
half and then redrawing it. Yeah. All right. Number last one at least, number 10. And that's now in the chat.
Okay. A lot of circles. Let's see here. So when you're doing real constructions, you try to avoid extra lines. So it looks like you're bisecting CAB. So to me, and okay, so it does look like okay, here's how they did it. It looks like they went from E to D first. So they swung an arc like that. And they went all the way around. They did the full circle here. But they got those points. And then they went to each of those points. And you have to go halfway beyond the angle. So you go like that. That's the big circle here. And then they did the same thing at E. They swung the same arc. See how the two large circles are the same?
Yeah,
And so that is,
that's like why they're. Oh, yeah, I see that now.
and so this is the roughly how many construction lines you should draw. But they're always showing the whole circles. So yes, my answer would be yes. And now we have to actually see which one is right. The circles D
D8.
and E have the same radius. So that's I don't know, I need to do it here. That's that circle and that circle, they have the same radius. That's
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
so
what. Yeah, not
C
the inner
and B.
circle.
Yeah, C and B are equal. So the second one is not relevant. So I'd probably go with that.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and submit it. All right. This one is 80% again, but this time, number, wait, yeah, I'm not sure if we did this together, but numbers, yeah, we did number 7, and then one of the ones that we didn't go over that I already finished before, and here number 2. Yeah, I'm not sure we did numbers together, but yeah, it says number 7 is the correct answer for number 7 was the distance between points E and D.
Mm. So that is really odd. But okay.
Yeah, then the
So
other
don't,
one,
because you don't actually need the distance, you need the distance from, you need the arc. But I mean, okay, so just in fairness to the question, what they're saying is that the angle right here, whatever the angle is, it's the same no matter where you swing the arc. So all
so
of
they're kind
these
of
have,
getting, yeah, got it. So that's what they're kind of trying to,
so one thing you might do, because I'm sure you have a test upcoming at some point, is gathering all these up and looking, having them written down so that you can revise them, look at them later.
yeah, because for like
So, or
there's three different modules for this like one semester of the online class. And in the first like module, there's like and the module like kind of test that will go over all the lessons inside like that one certain module
and
for like
they probably will pull questions from what you've been doing.
yeah, from what we've been doing in this like this kind of format. Yeah. All right. There is one more thing.
Yep, we got a couple minutes left here if you want to send something else to work on or look at.
All right. Let's see if we can squeeze this in here. I also wanted to ask if we could set up like a recurring thing like every because obviously as I mentioned earlier, course is sort of very event works. So and yeah, especially since it's a very short course. I was wondering if we could do like a recurring session instead of like 'cause I wouldn't end up needing it um every weekday. Not
Yeah, I mean,
weekend, but
is your class, is the assignments just due during the week?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, next week's we've got a session tomorrow. Um, I'm pretty open right now because I don't have anybody recurring yet on weekdays. So yeah, I mean, you could have a standing like 11 o'clock every day if you wanted, or 12 or something.
yeah, yeah. We could
But
probably do something like 11 or something like that. That'd probably work for me.
yeah, I'm generally available generally 11 to 7 Monday through Thursday, and then mornings on Friday. So if you wanted kind of the same time every day, 11's a good one time. But yeah,
Yeah,
you can get back to me. I mean, I assume I'll fill up with people. It just depends on who wants to schedule. So, and I would pre-book those for you as well. Okay,
all right.
when constructing a perpendicular line through a point off a line, how can you verify that the lines constructed are perpendicular? Okay. Normally, again, this is where I feel like there's got to be some things in your class there where you just got to go find the right words. Normally, when you construct a perpendicular, you actually do measure it. You actually grab you grab a protractor and you like measure. Um, the thing is, I don't think they're doing that here. It says, um,
Because the first one says check the angles used in the contraction with the
okay.
straight edge to
Yeah,
ensure
I don't think that that is correct. Um,
yeah.
this thing with a piece of paper is kind of what I'm referring to. Um, the but I feel like this, like, again, I think this is something in your notes. I don't want to just tell you the distance in terms of like how you determine if two things are perpendicular. It doesn't have anything to do with distance. Okay, the distance is not related because these two are perpendicular, and same with the much bigger segments. So the distance is not part of it. So if you're asking me, I would say that the second and the fourth are out. Check the angles used in the construction with a straight edge to ensure consistency. I don't know. Do you have anything you can look back and refer to?
Here, let me-
I mean, I guess I would go with that one if, but you can, you can already tell I'm uncertain because, and the ones that we've been getting wrong are the ones I'm,
Alright, so let me go back and check.
getting pretty close here to being out of time. So if you want to do anything else, you'll have to send it over real quick here.
Yeah, just go back to the. Alright, there's this.
We are unfortunately out of time for
Oh,
today. So we're gonna go ahead. Let me just look at it real quick and see if I can even provide some guidance, but yeah, we'll have to talk about that next time. So I'm gonna go
alright,
ahead and stop right
if we
here.
could, yeah, if we could set up like a recurring